Titancraft. Hey guys, and welcome to my next video. In this video I have been excited about because this Season 3 base is my favorite build in survival that I've ever done. And it took me about 6 months to make it. And for you guys that don't know, this is Titancraft Season 3. And it is Tango Tech's Patreon server. And I'll have a link to his Patreon page in the description below. And I thought I'd start us off in the nether here, because this is how everybody that hasn't seen it yet first experiences it. And so let me just step through the portal here, and I will show you. There we go. And here it is. This is what everybody sees the first time they come through. I love this base to death. You know, the first thing I always tell people to do is just to take a fly around. You know, and this nether portal here, I'm pretty proud of it as well. You know, this is before the water mechanics. But yeah, also in this season, I had a couple base mates as well. They helped gather and they built the farms. That way I could just build when I started building. And one of them was Anita, of course, and then the other was Andy. And I gave them, I made an island for each of them to kind of do whatever they wanted to do on the build, because I had a pretty good stranglehold on the designing aspects. But this was Andy's island right here. And yeah, he went for like a snow globe theme. So yeah, pretty cool, I think, you know. That way, and also the islands gave them kind of their own personal storage, because in the center here, where I'll show you in a little bit, that was like the community storage for everybody. And then these islands over here, right here, I wanted to make a group of islands, floating islands. And, you know, I kind of just connected them all. This actually ended up turning into my villager trader. Like I think Anita moved them all up here for me. And then, yeah, you know, I put the main one in here, the farmer, because I needed the most room for the farmer. And, but yeah, you know, there's no fountains. I love making fountains. Also, then here's Anita's island over here. And she wanted a polar bear, which she got from Alan Animal, I believe. You know, so yeah, she did some work on here. Pretty cool. I like it. But now for this, you know, I wanted to get those covered. And now for this, I wanted my own custom trees, which if you in my tutorial you'll see how I built them. And I wanted to do like the wheat fields. I really like the wheat fields, but I wanted to put like a little border around them, so I went for the Caable, as you can see. And then I went for, you know, just some simple braziers. And but yeah, but this whole island, nothing was here at all. I have hand built every single bit of this. We started on a very little island, which I'll show you, and then we just kind of expanded it a little bit for the gathering for the first 2 or 3 weeks of the server, and then I started building the main structure. But yeah, you know, and then came up with these designs for the houses, which actually we used for Tango's What If Villager. His first, when he was first showing the mod off, like the buildings, this is where the houses came from. We actually just copied them from this world, which I was pretty proud of, actually. And but yeah, as you can see, I did a lot more work back here. I made some little, you know, little rivers coming from the main part, and then the wheat fields again, yeah, and the major little ponds back here as well. But yeah, that's for the outside of it. I mean, I really enjoyed building this. Like I said, it took me half a year to make this. This was strictly survival, by the way. You know, I had to do all this, but it was fun, man. Oh yeah, and then the outsides of the entrance here, these towers, like right here and over here, right here, I actually copied those from my Season 1 base. The towers from the outside, and I'll leave a link to the Season 1 base and the Season 2 base, because I took some off of that too. I'll leave that in the description as well. And this part right here was from the Season 2 base. they were on the 4 cardinal directions of my circular base there. I wanted to kind of tie it all together, you know, bring a little bit from nostalgia back to it. It actually just kind of worked. I really like doing that. You know, and my color palette has always been the same. Eventually I might move away from it, but I just like the way these colors work together. And let's go fly inside here. Yeah, this is my storage area, and I actually put signs and labeled some stuff this time. In my Season 1 and Season 2 base, I did not. But yeah, but now I could probably find everything if I wanted to. But, you know, I'm not going to look through them all. There's too many. You know, I wanted to have open access at the very top in case I ever wanted to fly in, but it ended up being too little, so I never was able to fly in. I wanted to be able to see what I did below, because I made a cave system underneath that mountain. I just didn't fill it all in. And our farms and the food storage is down there as well. And in each direction here, you know, whoop, turned around. But in each direction here, you know, is a path up. And, you know, you can get to each tower this way. There's paths on both sides, as you can see. You know, and each side is identical, except for this part right here, where it leads down into the cave systems. And each side has an entrance into the caves as well. And, you know, when I design stuff, I try to make it look pretty. I go for prettiness over efficiency, unfortunately. But, I mean, for me, I play this game because I like to build, and I really like to make things, you know, look natural. I think the more you can do that, I think the better your builds will be. And then over here, you know, let's take this way down. This was usually the way I went down and came up, because I think it was the easiest. But yeah, this is one of the better views on one of the paths, and I wanted this view. I had this in mind when I was doing it. But yeah, ooh, it fell off. Come on. But anyways, yeah, this is the path down. You know, something. It's like I said, it's not the most efficient way to get down. I mean, sometimes I just drop down through the hole, you know, into the water there. And actually, especially if I was going to the smelter, which I'll show you in a little bit. But yeah, man, I wish I had spruce trapdoors for this. That's the only thing about this base I regret. That, and like I had this in mind for that we'd update to 1.13, so I could cover these sea lanterns with the spruce trap doors, just to kind of hide the lighting under there. But 1.13 ended up breaking the server a little bit, so that's when we went to Season 4. But yeah, and then I got my maps over here, my Kratos maps over here that I made. This is a 2x2 map, as you can see, and I got lazy and I didn't do the background. I just kind of did the main character, and I don't know. I really love the way this turned out. This is a 2x2 map, and yeah, it took forever to make this. But yeah, I think it looks incredible. And in a video in the future, I will show off the map area, because there's a few people made them, and I'll get into that when I do that video. But this is a smaller map of my island, a little bigger. And then here's the full-size map of our island that we had out here. And this little box down here was our guardian farm. It's nothing too spectacular, but it's there. I'll show it a little bit here when I get into it. But here we go. Here's the main. Here is my baby down here. This is everything I wanted it to be, almost, you know. The only thing I'm missing is I did not bury the bushes. I thought I did. I only used jungle bushes. Boy, I must have gotten lazy again. Old Nita is rubbing off on me, I tell you. But I decided not to put the vines in here, because the way the vines grew, I was having trouble with them on the outside, because I did do the vines on the outside of the build, as you can see. And I went through a lot of string trying to, the lengths, and having to put the string on the sides and everything to stop it from growing. And then my custom waterfalls, just everything about this build. This was my most complete build that I've ever done. Now I will say Season 4 Spawn, that build is a close second, but this is still my favorite. And I mean, it's just, to me, it's just beautiful. And I got these houses. I got some of these houses in here, down here, into the kind of the cliffside, and it ties in the path from the kind of the village I set up outside. You can get from one side to the other side in here. And of course I use my decoration, my crops decorations. I need to do that. Another build, but yeah. As you can see, you can come in here, and now you're on the inside of the base. And then this is the way that leads up to the left side, and you can keep going over here. That'll go up to the right side. But one of the things I was trying to do when I was making these paths is, as you look off here, you always have something to see. You always have a new angle, and you always have almost something new to see every time you look down. And that was, I don't know, to me, this base was just, the culmination of everything I've learned how to build. And then we have the smelter area. And see, Anita put all these signs down. Why she felt the need to prank her own base, I don't know. she's a character, that one. She's crazy. She's the best kind of crazy. And then here's my super smelter that I had no what am I trying to say? I didn't have anything to do with building this. This was all Cashmere. She built this all by herself with absolutely no help from a guy named Nexus. Absolutely none. Well, okay, maybe a little help. What was that? Weird. But anyways, I am not going to explain how this works because I have absolutely no idea how this works. None at all. I just know it's melted pretty fast. Occasionally it would eat a shulker, and I'd have to go in there and find it where it was. But yeah, But I wanted to make this. I wanted to keep this. When I was building this area for the storage collection, which is down here, by the way. But what I was doing was, I wanted to leave this open because I think there's something kind of pretty about how redstone works. Not that I understand how redstone works, but it's kind of pretty. And it helps you kind of see if something's wrong, by the way. And then that Caable thing over there is kind of, I turned it, it's a grinder. I can't remember who, I think it's like a Mumbo's grinder, but I put an on-off switch on it in case I wasn't using it. I'll go and show you that real quick. I did do the redstone on this. Here's the on-off switch. I thought I moved it over there, but I guess I didn't. But in here, it's a creeper. I started this earlier. Hey, look at that. Perfect timing. Look at all the creepers in here. And it's a creeper and spider farm, basically. This is where I was getting my gunpowder and well, that's not any good, is it? But it worked. I promise you, it did work. I set this up early in the season so I could start collecting gunpowder quicker, but there's so many people on it was hard to get anything done, and then of course the illusion that it's all closed in, of course it's not. But yeah, that this is, I had a big area under here, so it was a good place to put the farm and the smelter. It was just a big hollow area from when I built this up. Okay. Alright, let's go back under here. Oh, I'll show you the island that it started on, how big the island was. It's right over here. And this is kind of where we started, down there. Down in this hole. That's where I started strip mining and everything. But you can see right here where, the top of this, it just extend this up a little bit, and that's I mean, that's all the island was. And, you know, make it, you know, that's all that little island was. I ended up ripping it out because I wanted to hand build all this. Now, and here's our food collection area. And this is just another big area that I had, you know. But I knew this was going to be for the food storage when I was building this island. So I wanted to make the island on that side even bigger because I didn't know what all I was going to do in here yet. But this is the food storage area I came up with, and I actually did all the redstone in here. Ooh, these are full. Look at that. Had lights on to tell me when they were full. And this rainbow wall here was built by Andy and Anita as well as the double slime farm and the wheat field down there. I'm not sure why they put the wheat field all the way down there, but yeah, it's there. And you know, everything collected up in this area. And here comes I'm Crazy Caable. Thanks a lot, Anita. You're the best. What a nerd. But anyways, Anita built these farms. You know, the auto farms. You know, you guys have all seen that, you know. Of course. And I'll show you the other farms that are back here. You got the little cactus farm. You know, it produced way more than what we really needed. And then we had the auto sugarcane, and then I didn't have a way to show this, and then this the nether wart kind of got neglected, unfortunately. And then I think Andy made the auto pumpkin and melon farm. There you go, it's triggering it. I think you guys have probably seen that. I don't know. But here's my sorting system, and all the items got filtered in to come in right here. And then you came down this path, and look at all these hoppers. I know it doesn't even compare to how many some people had, but man, these were mine. I was afraid it was going to lag the server, but after finding out how many hoppers some other people had, sham, you know, I wasn't too worried about it. And then, you know, my, you know, just the standard sorting system again, wherever they are. There they are, right up here. The standard sorting system, and when this hopper started filling up, this light came on. The light will come on. It's like, as you can see over here. You know, that way I knew it was time to gather everything out of the chests. And if I had to do it again, and I thought about doing this, was making a shulker loading system underneath these, just to kind of make my life a little easier. But the way that I designed it, you know, they can't filter down after they go into a chest. So, I mean, there's some flaws in the system for sure, but then there are things I would change, you know, in the future for sure. That I know how to do it. I guess I got lazy. I was starting to run out of room back here too. Like, some places are pretty tight back here about where it was going. But yeah, you can see the underside of the base with a lot of work done in this place for sure. But let me switch back here. There we go. And down here, I meant to put a bridge in here, and I just completely forgot to. I was gonna put a bridge into this path over here. You know, just so you can get around a little easier. You know. But yeah, this base. Ooh, this base. Labor of love here. Tell you what, man. I miss this base a lot. I remember when Season 4 started, I kept trying to go down the nether tunnel to go to this base. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have this. This base isn't here anymore. Let's see. I feel like I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, the Guardian Farm. And that's another portal. Guardian Farm's out this way. And I have different cave entrances on different points of the island. Like, there's a cave system that comes out there, it wraps around, and I'll show you that in a second. I think I got used once, maybe? It was just there for aesthetics. But here's that little cube I was talking about down here for the Guardian Farm. I just kind of just tried to get something in quick. I remember at the time. And then I was trying to hide it underneath the water, so I made a void effect. And I'll show you guys how to do the glass void effect in a tutorial. Maybe next week? Maybe? I don't know. In a week or two at least, you know. So, but this is the Guardian Farm, and not much was done to it. really, you know, just had, I don't know why they would use the redstone blocks. I think it makes the guardians drop faster or something. I'm not sure. But, you know, in here with the lava, then they all collected down there. So as you can see, ooh, our store system is full. Which there wasn't a very big store system. But anyways, yeah, it's, you know, this was the Andy and Anita project, and I didn't have a chance to get into it too much because I was so busy with the other stuff. And then, by the end of the season, I ended up starting to prank people, and I got into that. And I'll show you some of the stuff that I did in another video as well. And I remember Anita was clearing this out, the water out. And when she wasn't on, because she was using a sand pusher to push the sand down. And when Anita wasn't on, I knew where she was going to start. And I put a slab underneath the water, way down at the very bottom of the water. So when the sand hit it, it broke. She lost like 5 stacks of sand. Boy, she was mad at me. But it was a fun kind of mad, I think. It was great. And then, of course, I did the undersize of all these islands. And we're gonna let that go, you know, wasted. You know, that's some of my favorite stuff to do, is to do this kind of landscaping and stuff. So, yeah. And then underneath the water, I did my best to hide some lighting, and I had to connect this all to. Wow, is that so? 1 second. Alright, so I give myself some night vision so you can see. I did my attempt at making some coral, and I tried to combine some of the colors and everything, and I don't know if they really worked or not, but I just went with it all the way around the base. I mean, I didn't think that people would see it too much, you know, but it was a chance for me to hide a little lighting down here with the glass, and I intended to actually move those back even more, but I just never got to it. But I had to connect this, you know. I couldn't have it just floating here. I had to connect it all to the ground, and that took me quite a bit of time. I think that took me a couple weeks just to get all the sand and gravel in there. And I wish I would have done some cobblestone patches, you know, in there as well. That's another thing that I wish I would have done. But also the front of this, I forgot to show off. I have a couple of custom waterfalls in there, and I really like the front of this. Like, I wanted a wow factor from when you first stepped through this portal, and I think it really delivered. It's just my opinion, though. I might be a little biased when it comes to this base. But yeah, there's more braziers up front, and my little village here that I used as my I don't do interiors, by the way, because I'm just not good at it. And I use this as my bulk storage, you know, so I thought this was a good opportunity to actually use these buildings instead of just sitting here, you know. Dirt, grass, and sand, those things right there. And then this was the big one, of course, because it had the cobble and it had my dark oak in. And I used that chest right there as kind of my dump chest. And eventually, every once in a while, I would come and empty it out and make sure everything was organized. But Anita was my main organizer here too. She took some time off, and then this was part. This arch right here came from our CCG build, which, you know, I kind of took inspiration from that for these arches, because I did a lot of those for the pathways on the arches. Yep. And, you know, this is my base. I've been excited to show this off to you. I was having trouble getting on my computer. A buddy of mine named Light Horizon, he actually put it on one of his servers for me so I could do this video, and a couple other videos that I plan on doing from this season that I was a part of. Yeah, you know, he's a good guy. I'll leave a link to his channel in my description. He does redstone. He does a lot of redstone stuff, and you know, and he doesn't think he's very good at it, but everybody else thinks he's pretty good at it. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really, really was excited to show you guys this, you know, this base. I might even pat myself on the back for the back for this base. I was really happy with it. And just give another little flyby as I fade out into nothingness. I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for enjoying my video, or thanks for watching my video, and bye.